I'd been a professional singer in my 20s, and I knew if I did a big party and I hired a big orchestra and we had all these people there, that the thing he was going to want was for me to get up and sing. Now, all this is going through my head, even though it's about him and it's about his party. But I'm looking in the mirror and I'm thinking, yeah, you're going to get on his stage. We might want to think about doing a little something to spiff you up here, because it's just gravity. You're gonna get some drooping. The funny thing is, it's a line out of When Harry Met Sally, and they talk about how the only part of your body that keeps growing forever is your nose. And I'm looking and I'm going, yeah, there's something to that. So anyway, I thought I really want to try to do something here, just to rejuvenate myself, tighten things up, and maybe make this a little bit smaller. So that's when I decided to visit Dr. Mendelsohn. It was I had been singing in the shower for like a year. Okay, it's a wonder my husband, didn't figure something out, because every opportunity I'm practicing trying to get my voice back into shape, because it's a muscle and you lose that. But the biggest thing that helped me get up there and do it was the fact that I felt good about myself. I really, really, really did. The reaction from him was, and I'll start crying if I'm not careful. Our now future daughter-in-law was sitting next to him. He was sitting while we had 200 people at the party, and he came up to very close to the stage and was sitting there, and she turned to him and just saw his face, and afterwards she said, "I just hope somebody looks at me with that much love in my life." And so it made me feel really good. Exactly. No, it was a magical moment. In the pictures I'm holding, you can see I'm just very, very comfortable and confident on that stage. And I know that if I hadn't done everything I could to make myself look younger, look more like I did back when I had all that confidence in my 20s, I wouldn't have been happy. I wouldn't have felt good about doing it, and it wouldn't have spoiled the party. It wouldn't have taken away from all the other great experiences he was having. But I knew this just meant a lot to him. Well, one of the pictures is when my husband and I were first married. And so you always, I wanted to see what I looked like back then, and kind of then compare it to what I looked like after the surgery. Because the thing, and my husband was even part of the consultation when I met with Dr. Mendelsohn. His concern was that I would have that too pulled look, that it would be that when you see the movie stars with the really bad makeovers, that was his only concern. He wanted to make sure that I was going to still look natural, still look like me, not have anything exaggerated. So the neat thing is, when I look at these pictures, I look very natural. I don't look like I've quote unquote had work done. And so again, it's me. It's just people, and some of the people that were there at the party that hadn't seen me for a long time, basically just said, "Why don't you ever get any older? You're the only one we know who doesn't ever age," And but nobody said anything like, "Did you have anything done?" Or so you look natural, but you just look good. So I think I told my stepdaughter. She and I are very, very, very close, and she's in her 30s. And I don't remember if I told her I was going to have this done before or after, but it's really funny because both my stepdaughter and my future daughter-in-law are just, they're just like, hey, we're not against a little nip and tuck, you know, when it's time, that's what we're going to be doing. You know, that's just makes perfectly good sense to me. So, so yeah, they were very supportive. I really didn't tell anyone else, probably just because I'm a private person for the most part, and even though I am used to being out in front of the public, when it comes to you know, specific things I'm doing to try to keep myself looking young. When I decided that I really did want to go ahead and do this, I had been to, Dr. Mendelsohn has luncheons or open seminars every so often just for people who think they might want to have something done, just to come and get additional information, and he'll answer questions. So I had done that several years before, but and this was 2 years ago when I decided that it was time to actually have a consultation with him and talk about what I was thinking about. I started thinking about it when I turned 60, but I was 61 2 years ago when I came and had the first consultation. My husband wasn't with me then. I just talked to him and asked him what he thought and what he recommended, and we both decided on the essentially, I think it's mini lift, and then we talked about my nose and the fact that I was concerned, and part of my decision making has to do with the fact that I used to be in front of the camera, so I judge my looks a lot by how photogenic I am. And if I see in pictures, recent pictures, that I'm not looking the way I want to look, then that's when I want to know what can we do about that. So we had the consultation, decided what procedures to do, and then and Dr. Mendelsohn asked if my husband would like to come in and be reassured. And I said, I think that's a good idea. So that's what we did. We had another session where my husband was there and explained to him, Dr. Mendelsohn, that his only concern was that it would be obvious and or my face would be distorted. And Dr. Mendelsohn reassured him that, you know, he's very, 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 very careful about that, and that would not be the case at all. So that was, and I really didn't have any qualms or concerns other than when you get right down to the day of the surgery, you got to be a little nervous. I mean, I had all the trust in the world and all the faith in the world, and everybody here, the whole staff, they're just neat people. They're fun people. They are concerned that you're feeling good about everything. They want to make sure you have no other questions or worries, and they do a lot of hand holding, which is nice. So it's funny, I don't remember a lot about the day of the surgery. Probably just as soon not remember everything. There wasn't pain. I wasn't in pain. And even, I don't even remember being in a lot of pain when I came out. The few days following the surgery are not the most comfortable. Let's put it that way. It's not that you take a little bit of pain medication, so you're not really hurting a lot, but it's hard to move your face, and you can't do anything with your nose because it's all bandaged up, and so you spend about a week like that, but it goes quickly, and going into the second week, by the end of the second week, I was able to go out and feel fine. There's some bruising and swelling that goes along with it, but that's all gone by then, and most of it is. And so it's just not a horrible experience, and it's certainly well worth it when you see the results. In all honesty, you can go out within, say, 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks of having it done. The bruising's all gone, but there's still a lot of swelling. And again, most of the swelling goes away, but I'm going to say it was probably a month, maybe even 2 months before I felt like I was really looking like I was going to look. And especially with the nose, there's the swelling, and Dr. Mendelsohn is very upfront about that. It takes a good year for all the swelling to be gone, but you're 80% there. You know what I'm saying? It's not double the size that it's going to be. So you feel fine, you feel confident after, especially after, a couple of months. But it was, and it's ironic because it was just about a year from the date I had the surgery till the party. And that's when I knew I looked as good as I was going to look. Oh, these are family members.
Oh, really?
And
Okay,
and friends that were at the party.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know, it had been probably a few months, since I'd seen them, but they just made the comment that, you don't get any older. How do you not get any older? And so that made me feel good. I walk every day. I've got a little Maltese dog, Benji, so I take him for long walks every day. I do we have 3 sets of stairs at the house, so I make it a point to run up and down the stairs every day. I do some basic exercises, take a lot of vitamins, try to eat healthy, and just try to do as many of the things as we used to do as possible. My husband and I every year take a 2-week motorcycle trip. We love to ride our Honda Goldwing, so we just go out west and find an area we haven't been in and ride the motorcycle, do some hiking, do some rafting, just try to do all the things that we've always done in moderation. Well, I would recommend everybody go to Dr. Mendelsohn because I'm just spoiled, and he is he's if he didn't think you needed anything, he'd tell you that. If he thought just a little something here or there, or you might just even be able to do some skin treatments to rejuvenate yourself, that's what he's going to recommend. But the more you learn about what different options you have, what different procedures will do for you, I think the more it just becomes sort of a very easy decision. If you look at before and after pictures, which they have a lot of before and after pictures at Dr. Mendelsohn's of just about every procedure there is. And you just see what a difference it makes. And a lot of people, most people my age, I think, in your 60s, you don't necessarily feel that you're older, getting older. You still think of yourself the way you did when you were in your 30s and 40s, mentally. But the age signs are inevitable. They're gonna be there. They're gonna happen, and it's just, you don't have to do anything about it, and you can still feel younger. But it's nice when you not only feel younger, but you look younger too. It just is. It makes doing everything a lot more fun. And when you look in the mirror, it helps. Even though you know what age you are, it helps if you can think you look just a little younger than that, because you feel that way mentally.